Welcome to the Real-Time Storytime by Robert R. Ricks.
9.
We will get this thing started pretty soon. What I need for you guys right now is just to hold tight. We need to allow people to show up because this show is nothing without the viewers. You see, I require keywords or phrases that you will give me, and I will craft a story based off these keywords. I have about 2.5 minutes to create the story. And then after I create the story, I have to see if I got all of the keywords in, at least 10 of them. We try to have at least 10 to 14 keywords, and I attempt to get all of them in, but if I can get at least 10, it's a good day. Now, I know you guys are going to have some really crazy ones. Now, I do need to warn any new viewers. The existing crew that comes here on a regular basis are filthy, nasty motherfuckers with foul language. If the language is going to be a problem, you might want to check out now, because these stories, 9 times out of 10, are extremely vulgar, sometimes violent, oftentimes very weird, and sometimes funny. Alright, we'll get this thing started pretty soon. Hang tight.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, Stitches? It's your boy, Robert R. Ricks. If I have a little bit of a speech oddity when I'm talking, some of that is because I have some different stuff going on in my mouth right now. So, anyway, this is the Real-Time Storytime show. We have a bunch of folks that are on. They're going to drop some keyword or some phrases. They'll hear a tone. They'll see the thing to let them know it's time to throw those words. And then after that's done, I have a couple of minutes to try to create a story based off those keywords, or will incorporate those keywords. Now, if you guys are checking it out on the podcast, obviously you're not going to see all of the flashing words and whatnot. You're just going to have to remember the keywords, and I'll say them multiple times before we get things started. So anyway, let's get this party started. Let's go ahead and get some keywords.
Submit your words now.
So you guys can go ahead and start throwing them out. Alright. Oh, I'm hanging in, Paula. I feel like somebody's been beating on my jaw for a while. But, you know, the show must go on. Butt scratcher. Okay. We've got butt scratcher. Alright, Paul, I'm gonna have to probably break those into two things, just because there is no rational thing about ramen noodles and pink pussy in the same damn sentence. Ramen noodles, pink pussy, soul scavenger. Pontiac Trans Am. Kwisatz Haderach? I don't even know what that is. You're gonna have to tell me. What that is. Bloody kitty. Anal glands. So I don't know what Kwisatz Haderach is. Kwisatz. I'm sure I'm gonna fucking say that wrong. Kwisatz Haderach. Yeah, you guys are making it a little interesting for me here. I still think I need... What was Tenchi's? Oh, Tenchi's with Pontiac Trans Am. Okay. I still need Kwisatz. Okay. Kwisatz. I need two more. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to catch everybody up. I had some anal work. I had some dental work done. They took 4 teeth from the back here. I mean, 2 from the back here, 2 from the back here, 2 from the back here, 2 from the back here. Had 8 teeth taken out, my back teeth. And in about 6 weeks after I'm done healing up, they're going to take the rest of these teeth out. Those 8 teeth alone kind of wrecked me. So I'm on pain meds right now, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to work out. See, the universe is super being. That's what Paul Atreides was. Red wings. Okay. Red wings. Deadpool's ball sack. Okay. Deadpool's ball sack. Yo, what's up, Stalking? Okay. Alright, so far it looks like we got Butt Scratcher, Ramen Noodles, Pink Pussy, Soul Scavenger, Pontiac Trans Am, Kwisatz Haderach. I'm gonna write this big. Kwisatz Haderach. Okay. And Masturbate. And Death Reaper. Alright, I got enough now. So Death Reaper. And Masturbate. It's going to be one of those shows. Okay, Masturbate. Okay, so we got Butt Scratcher, Ramen Noodles, Pink Pussy, Soul Scavenger, Pontiac Trans Am, Kwisatz Haderach, Bloody Kitty, Anal Glands, Red Wings, Deadpool's Ballsack, Death Reaper, and Masturbate. Yep. Later. Let's see. X-Force and Deadpool 3. Alright. So those are words. So now I have to actually figure out something for this. I have a couple of minutes to do so. And let's get it started. Let's try to figure something out. Here we go. Okay. Alright, guys. I think I actually have something this time. This one was definitely... Turn that off. Definitely a little bit on the difficult side. And it might be just because I have all these fucking paymails on board. But anyway, we're going to see what happens here. So you can see I have... Oh, I'm get it here in focus. I have some notes here. And that's what I'm going to base the story on. And we'll see how everything goes. Now, as I use one of these words, the viewers will be able to see this flashing. It says keywords used. Now, excuse me. For you folks listening on the podcast, you're just going to have to remember these words. We have butt scratcher, ramen noodles, pink pussy, soul scavenger, Pontiac Trans Am, Kwisatz Haderach, Bloody Kitty, Anal Glands, Red Wings, Deadpool's Ballsack, Death Reaper, and Masturbate. I already did. I already sprayed some Smart Air a little bit earlier, just because I knew this was going to be kind of an interesting show, to say the least. So I'm done with the headsets. Hang on one second. You can hear a little bit of a noise as I put these down. Okay. All right. So, that being said, let me go ahead and take a sip of my beverage. And we shall begin our tale now. Okie dokie. There's a putrid smell in the air. Sour. Had a very strong hint of ammonia. And I knew already. The damn cat. Misty. Always pissing where she wasn't supposed to piss. The fucking cat. I swore the cat would be the death of me. All my friends asked, why do you keep that evil thing around? And all I could answer was, she's part of me. She's my pet. She's all I got left. And they would laugh and say, you got us, man. We're your friends. And I'd shake my head. Nah, she may be a little cunt, but I can depend on her more than I can you motherfuckers. And they'd get butthurt, and they'd leave. The assholes always came around anyway, leashing off my liquor, leashing off all of my free shit. None of them ever contributed or brought anything to the parties. Granted, they weren't parties in the normal sense of the word. Usually 2 or 3 people would stop by and we'd hang out and reminisce and kind of feast ourselves on what we had, which most of the time consisted of ramen noodles as well as other cheap goods, Spam, oftentimes eaten straight from the can. Sometimes we'd eat dog food. Don't judge. You haven't been where we've been, you don't have the fucking right. We were oddities in the sense that we did things that other people didn't have the stomach to do. Some dark, horrible things. But nonetheless, things that needed to be done. And we, my associates and I, would deal with these issues on a regular basis. I was watching the telly, nothing really good on, flipping the channels. Sometimes I'd catch the glimpse of something. A half second later I'd recognize what it was, shake my head in disgust and keep going. It's kind of like that most nights. Flipping the channels, flipping the channels, flipping the channels. The cat was nowhere to be seen, but the smell lingered. I knew something had to be done about it. I got up from my chair, walked over to the litter box, saw that it had been neglected for far too long. Little mounds of cat piss and shit greeted me. First with a smell, then with an odd, abstract, artistic landscape. Shook my head, grabbed a scooper, started to scoop out the problematic bits. And as I did, I realized the whole damn litter box was a problematic thing. Fuck. I went and retrieved a black trash bag, grabbed the whole damn thing, stuck it in the trash, flipped it upside down, banged on it until I heard a clunk. It was disgusting. Again, don't judge me. Most nights, there are other things I have to attend to. Granted, the hours and hours I'd spent scanning the telly, well, there's no excuse for that other than the fact that I needed to mentally recharge. And sometimes only watching the stupid telly was the only thing to get my mind off of them. The door knocked. I got up, walked over to it, opened it. Small woman was sitting there smiling at me. "Oh, Marissa, good to see you. What can I do you for?" "What's that smell?" "Cat piss. Cat shit." "Oh, so you still have Misty?" "Yeah, why wouldn't I still have Misty?" I thought you would have got rid of her a long time ago. But anyway, that's not why I'm here." I sniffed. She smelled good. She smelled very good. "Come on in." She stepped past me, and as she did, I snuck a scent of her hair, leaned in, got a good whiff. She smelled good. "Well, the place still looks nice." "Fuck off. You know it looks like shit. What you got for me?" "Well, I just need you to look at something. I don't really need you to go anywhere. I just need you to look at something." I nodded. I looked at her, and her skin was fine, her hair was fine, her clothing was fine, and yet there was something about her energy. Something around her aura was slightly off. I noted it and followed it away. I sat back in my chair, grooves set from all the hours that I had spent sitting in it. She took the chair across from me, legs crossed, as if to protect that pretty little pink pussy of hers. "Okay, what do you got?" "Here." She leaned over, handed me an envelope. I leaned, grabbed the envelope. The minute my fingers touched the envelope, I knew what was in it. Oh, fuck. "What? You seriously? You brought one of those fucking images of it to me?" "Why not?" Never mind. I opened the envelope, pulled it out. There was a picture of a little girl. Deep black eyes. Black veins extending from the eyes down her face, down her neck. And I nodded. What do you need to know?" "We suspect that it's a soul scavenger." "Yeah, it is." "Well, we've never seen one so young before." "Yeah, they're going to get younger. It's just part of the change that's happening." "Okay, so what do you suppose we do?" "Kill her." "Well, can I remind you it's a small child?" Yeah, technicality. Still, kill it." "Well, we need something a little less final." Well, I suppose you could enslave her, shackle her up, leash her like." I let it trail off, looked at her. Anger kept under control, but just enough to let her know she was venturing into dangerous territory. "Yes, I do see. Well, is there another option besides those?" "Nope. One or two. Your choice." She nodded. "What are you watching on TV?" The channel that had paused on when the door had knocked was sitting on a show I couldn't quite put my finger on, and then I heard somebody there talking about a Kwisatz Haderach, and I instantly knew it was Dune. Something about Dune. You know the book." She nodded. "I do know that book." Good. It's good to see you read." "I have a lot of time on my hands. It's one of the things that I like to do to pass the time. And I see you." She glanced around. Not a book in sight anywhere, but the big TV, old, wooden, crinky, sitting there. "I see you like more cerebral, lax things." Again, fuck off. "What else? You know you're not here just to show me her. There's something else going on you're not telling me." She nodded. My ass itched. I reached across the table. There was a nice wooden bud scratcher there available. I used it, not ashamed at all, as I let it dig deep into my ass cheeks. Don't get it disgusting. It was my ass cheek, not my asshole. She noted. She watched and paused and waited respectfully until I was done. I sighed in relief. You ever have a scratch, an itch you just can't get, but then when you do, it's heaven? She nodded. Yeah, I get those. Sometimes it's the small of my back or in between my shoulder blades. Well, if you ever have an itch you need scratching, maybe I can help. She nodded, thought about it, then she smiled, regarding me. Actually, I do have something. It's a little bit more on the personal side, though. I nodded. I figured as much. Off the books? Definitely off the books. What is it? It's my ex. I didn't know you were seeing anybody. Normally I don't. Emotional attachments can be dangerous. I nodded. Indeed. Go on. Well, he took something of mine. Something important. What? A small device. Very small. Shape of a ring. It has a red ruby in the center. Jewelry? This is about jewelry? No. It's about what's hidden inside of it. And it's not quite jewelry. It's more of a mechanical talisman, I guess would be an accurate descriptor. What would be my reward? I said as I regarded her, looking her up and down, not hiding my desire for her. She looked at me. Are you insinuating that I pay with my body? I shrugged. Listen, I know I'm not all that in a bag of chips, but I can guarantee you one thing, honey. What's that? I'm definitely a step above masturbation. I assume you masturbate. She nodded. All humans do. Yeah, well, I do too. Too often. I crave me some company, if you know what I mean. I do you solid. You do me solid. She thought about it. She smiled. Fine. We have an agreement then. You get the device back from my ex, and you have one night with me. I nodded. That seems fair. Where's he at? She took out her phone, showed me an address, waited for me to nod as I committed it to memory, and then she turned her phone off. How long do you anticipate this taking? I glanced at my watch and it told me it was 3 a.m. Before sunrise, I should have it. If he has it, I'll know. She nodded. Okay, I will see you at sunrise. I smiled. You don't have to, I sniffed at her. She smiled. You know? I nodded. Yeah, I know. Okay, then maybe there's a special reward waiting for you after all. I grinned. Maybe. She got up. I followed her. I let her out. I closed the door behind her. I turned. The cat was standing there. Oh. Hey, Misty. What are you doing? She looked at me, shrugged, walked around my feet 3 times, walked between my legs, and then looked up at me, purring. So I assume that means you want to go. She nodded. I petted her, and as I did, there was a scent that came up in the air. It was very sweet, somewhat intoxicating. It had a very interesting effect on me. You see, the one thing that was interesting about Misty, and the reason that I named her Misty, is that she secreted different mists from glands just below the anal glands. These were special augmented glands that were added to her brood. The scent, the spray, the mist that she emitted at this point had a very interesting effect on me. I could feel my muscles constricting. I could feel my heart beating stronger. I looked down at her, and she seemed smaller. That wasn't because she actually was smaller. it was because I was larger. I looked at her, confused. Why would you use that one? She smiled, as much as a cat can, with those eyes. Those eyes always knew something. I nodded. Whatever. You know this makes things harder for me to move around. She cat shrugged and walked away, and I lost sight of her. I knew the mist that she had admitted had a half-life of about 12 hours, which was fine. I had planned on being done long before that. The address was actually, fortunately for me, close by. Close enough that I could actually run and jump there. Not in the way you would think, as the Hulk would do, with Hulk jump and he jumps over buildings, but more like running and jumping and landing and running some more. And this was actually very quick, faster than a normal man would be able to run. But then I was augmented by the mist, which was fine. I ran to the address, and it was late enough that not enough people noticed me. I decided, instead of going up the elevator or the stairs, that I would just climb the outside of the building until I got to his particular address. I decided I wasn't going to be diplomatic. I wasn't going to be tactful. I was going to be very blunt and very direct. I thought this to myself as I jumped through his bedroom window, waking him from whatever he was dreaming of. I came through with a crash and landed with a thud, and then he rolled, and I was regarding a shotgun right in my face. What the fuck are you? I am here because of your ex. You have something that doesn't belong to you. Says who? Says me. We could play this out one of two ways, sports. Either you give me it, or I take it. And I promise you, you don't want me to take it. He thought about it, and his balls were the size of Brooklyn, with the attitude to match. You know what, big boy? How about I just blow a large hole in you? That would be bad. Boom! He shot me in the chest. It hurt. I looked at him. Those balls suddenly shriveled as he watched. There was no blood. There was no splatter. But there was a slight wound, because he was close enough to actually hurt me, that the shirt I had been wearing was rended apart, and the wound quickly healed. That hurt. Guess we're doing it the second way, huh? Wait, man. It's cool. Hold up. I got it. Where is it? My patience is gone. You have 5, 4. Here. In his nightstand right next to him was a drawer. He slid it open, and there was, as was described, a jewel-encrusted device of some sort with a big red ruby. She didn't tell me how big it was, so when I first saw it, I was taken aback. The shit was the size of my fist as far as the diameter. Wasn't quite tall enough, but it was still massive, to say the least. He handed it to me, hands shaking. I took it from him. What is it? I don't know. So you took it, and you don't even know what the fuck it is? It looks expensive, man. She had a lot of shit that looked expensive. But this one, I don't know. This was something special to her. Let me guess. You got mad? You got jealous? Something happened? Yeah, she said she didn't want to be with me anymore. She said I was bogging her down. I was smothering her. Man, I loved her. I mean, isn't that what you do when you love somebody? You tell them and you remind them and you let them know? Fuck if I know. Never gone down that road before, boy. He looked at me, nodded. Anyway, I wasn't going to keep it. It was something for me to bring her back to the negotiation table so we can continue talking. Oh my God, are you fucking serious? So let me get this straight. You're madly in love with her. You jack something that you think she thinks is super important because she's dumping you. And you think somehow that's going to make her come back all lovey fucking dovey? Well, when you say it like that, no, I guess that's fucking dumb. Yeah, very dumb. Almost as dumb as putting a fucking shotgun to me and blasting me. Which reminds me, fine, I've got payback from this, but what are you going to give me to not take that shotgun and stick it straight up your ass and blow your brains out with it? I have a car. What kind of car? You ever see Smokey and the Bandit? I smiled. I had. I liked it. It was a good movie. A good set of movies. Yeah. I got an old school Pontiac Trans Am. You really do, huh? What condition is it? He looked over to something. I glanced at it. This sumbitch had pictures and posters on the wall of him posing with his car. Damn. That is a nice car. You take it then? Yeah. I suppose I will take that. He pointed to the dresser near the front room. There were keys hanging. It's the one with the Firebird on it. Yeah, I gathered. I went and grabbed the keys. Now you're not going to do anything stupid when I leave here, like call the cops and say, "Oh, somebody stole my car." No, man. Nobody could take a shotgun blast like that and make it. I know what you are. I ain't got no fucking problem with you, man. Really? You know what I am? Yeah. Then say it. The word is you're not supposed to say it out loud. I'm giving you fucking permission. Say it. What am I? You're a Death Reaper? Yeah. Good boy. You're smart, aren't you? Yeah, you know what? The car is good. We're squared away. Go find somebody else, kid. That bitch is out of your league. He nodded. Yeah, no problem. Can you tell her I'm really sorry? Maybe. And then I went back out the window I had crashed through. I searched out the car. Found it. Can't fit in it. Too fucking big. I went to the hood, traced the glyph on it, cut my hand, let the blood hit the hood, pressed down with my palm. The car vanished. That'll work for now. Get it later. I went back to my apartment, went inside. Misty was waiting for me. She smiled. And the cat smiled. Always in the eyes. Well, I don't know why you felt the need for me to be this large. I could have took the shotgun. She shook her head. Huh? Again, she shook her head. What are you talking about? That's not why you... There was a crash from my front door. A hulking beast stood there, staring at me. And I felt my balls shrink a little. What the fuck are you? It walked in, regarded me, looked at the cat, looked back at me, looked at my vest where I had tucked the device, and it was glowing. It pointed at it. Ah, I see. So, somebody else wants this, huh? It nodded. Its face, if you wanted to call it a face, it looked more like Deadpool's ballsack than an actual head, nodded, the skin flapping around. I'm gonna have to get danger pay for this one. No, sorry, friend. This is mine. You can't have it. I got some pussy attached to this, and I aim to get that pussy. It nodded, and it came towards me. Fast. Faster than I thought it could, but lumbering. I shook my head as I nimbly jumped to the left, but I left my right foot anchored, just enough to trip it. I knew it was going to make a mess, but fuck it. It was what it was. It came crashing through, bounced off the wall, landed on the ground in the black trash bag with all of the old kitty litter. And the bag was destroyed. Which spread said kitty litter, cat, and piss and shit all through my kitchen. Son of a bitch, I yelled. I ran to it, grabbed it by its ankles before it had a chance to get up, slammed it up into the walls, slammed it back down onto the floor, not thinking it through. We both started to fall. Shit. We hit the second floor. Boom. Crashed through that. Landed on the first floor. Boom. Landed on that. Ended up in the basement. Hit hard concrete. I landed on top of it. Heard something nasty as I landed on its leg. Looked. Saw that I had scored a compound fracture on its leg. Bone jutting out. I didn't waste any time. I grabbed the bone. Ripped down. Tearing the bone straight through the thigh, not the thigh, the front leg all the way down to the ankles. If it could scream, I'm sure it would have. All I saw instead were its arms quivering, shaking about. That was what you would see normally accompany a guttural scream. The body, complete shock, the pain. I didn't stop there. I took the bone that I had torn straight down, ratcheted it free, and then started to stab it in its ball sack head repeatedly until it sprayed hot, steamy blood everywhere. A few moments later, it stopped thrashing about, but I was covered in blood. I looked up, and through all the different floors, up on my floor, I could see Misty looking down. I yelled up, "That's the one?" Misty nodded and walked away, as cats do. I didn't want to take the steps. I noted that nobody was in the rooms below me, which was a good thing, and I jumped and I got back up to my floor. I looked around, shook my head. Fuck, this is gonna be expensive. Misty was already in my bedroom waiting for me, standing by the night dresser, the big one, the vanity with the mirror on it. I looked in the mirror and regarded myself and saw all the blood steaming off of my skin. My skin was a lot hotter than normal people, especially under the influence of Misty's spray. Interesting. Well, this is going to require some showering, but I can't leave all these holes in the ground. You have the stuff? Misty nodded, patted on the dresser a little bit, a little pitter-patter, almost a little dance tune, and suddenly a compartment opened up, and inside were several bags of different herbs and ingredients. Fuck, this is going to take most of our store, you know that, right? Misty nodded, seemed indifferent. I took the stuff out, began the incantation, cast a spell, and indeed, almost all of the ingredients were gone at that point. But I watched as the floors seemed to stitch up, board up, kind of repair themselves, and after about 15-20 minutes, everything was fine. It was back to the way it was. Even the kitty litter that had been strewn all over the kitchen had been cleaned up. The apartment had a nice smell to it. I nodded. I suppose it was time to clean up anyway. Fuck. I'll just get more next time I'm over in Singapore. Cat nodded. And then she vanished, as she often did. I took out the device, laid it in the kitchen table, examined it, thought about fucking with it, but I decided, you know what? Enough had happened in the night. I took out my cell phone, and I called a friend, another acquaintance of mine. It rang, and it rang. And then, hello? Hey, I got a question to ask you. You know You know M, right? Yeah, she's a bitch. Hot, but she's a bitch. Yeah, well, I just did a job for her and I'm gonna bag her later, but I'm a little curious. She had a device her ex lifted from her, and it's got a big red ruby on it. Big as your fucking hand. Biggest that I've ever seen anyway. And it's on a kind of a weird machinery. I've never seen it. There was silence. There was a swallow. Dude, I don't know how to tell you this, but you might want to actually destroy that or get it the fuck away from you. Why would I do that? Well, that particular device is one of 3 in existence that has a very specific use. Listening. It's a portal array. It will open up a hole. To where? Well, that's the thing. It can open up portals to fucking pretty much anywhere. Where they come from, no one knows. But there's 3 of them. From what you're describing, that sounds like it's the Crimson one. So, what's special about it? Well, knowledge is a little sketchy on it, but you can open a portal, but it requires a lot of blood. I mean, a shit ton of blood. Really? Does it care what kind of blood? No, it just needs blood. Gotcha. So you're saying I should ditch this shit? Yeah, I would. Get that shit out of there. You know how many people are hunting for that fucking thing? I would gather a lot. I just dealt with a fucking giant monster fucking ball-headed thing. Oh, really? Sounds like a golem. With a ball sack for a head? Yeah. Look, golems come in all different shapes and sizes, and some of the more nimble, dangerous ones are actually made out of flesh, made of skin. Sometimes there are certain requirements, sacrifices, body parts that have to be used to create said golems. Sometimes they start off small, and then they are enhanced, made bigger. So wait, that was an actual ball sack on its head? Yeah, could have been. Alright, well, who has the juice to do that? Well, shit, there's probably only a handful in New York that could do it, but I don't know them. But I imagine... Shit, you know who would know? Who? M. Well, I'll see her shortly. Alright, dude. Well, good fucking luck, dude. That fucking sucks. Yeah. Welcome to my life. I hung the phone up with him, and I waited patiently. Misty would show up from time to time and walk around me almost with a shaking of the head as if to say, you know better, you know better. And I shrugged. Fuck it. I'm gonna get what's owed to me, and more. I heard a knock on the door. I waited. I wanted her to wait. She knocked again. A little firmer this time. I opened the door. She stood there with a trench coat on. Black, silky, red buttons. I suspected nothing else underneath. Hello. Well, I can see by the apartment some excitement has happened here. Yeah, come in. Let me tell you all about it. She walked in. She closed the door behind her. I led her into the kitchen. I pointed to the table where her device was. Her eyes got wide. She went to grab it, instantly pulled her hand back as an electrical charge shocked her. What the fuck is that? I believe we have a bargain first. What, you think I'm stupid? You take that thing, pop a portal or something and get the fuck out of here? I can't do a portal. I don't have that kind of magic. I looked at the device. But that does. She looked at me, surprised. Shit. You know some people that have some knowledge. I nodded. Kinda have to in this trade. She nodded, eyes narrowed. Fine. Let's get this over with. Wow. You say the sweetest things. Nice foreplay. Fuck off. You wanna fuck? Let's fuck. So I did. I lifted her, brought her into the bedroom, threw her down, opened the trench coat, and I began to devour her, literally, from the bottom up. She noted my size. She thought it was funny. Oh, are we compensating? No, this is compliments of Misty. Her eyes widened. Really? She's here? Right now? No, she was here a little earlier. I began to do the coveted operations that a man is well versed to please a woman. I wanted to make sure that this was going to be memorable for her, not in an unpleasant way, but in a very professional, how you doing kind of way. So as I took my time, she kind of loosened up and she began to go with it. I came up, smiling. She grinned at me as she noted I had red wings and shook her head and smiled. You are a nasty, nasty man. You don't seem to object. She shook her head. Not at all. I rather enjoy this. And I spent the next 2 hours using everything in my playbook to rock her fucking world. When we were done, I washed up. She did the same. We went to the kitchen table. She reached for the device and again got shocked. What the fuck, Marcus? Thought we had a deal. Oh, yes, we had a deal. That device is yours. It's yours. But there is a matter of payment for damages, danger, etc. that had not been disclosed to me. There are other people interested in this device, and one sent a golem after me. One which pretty much destroyed my apartment, as well as the apartments below. Lots of material, expensive material, was used to rectify that situation. So I believe there is further forms of compensation required before I lift the spell there. How much? 25,000 should cover everything. She thought about it. She smiled. You take a check? No. Venmo? Yeah, sure. What's your account? I took out my phone, showed her a barcode, she scanned it. She nodded. She put something in. She smiled. I looked at it. Eyes widened. That's not the amount I asked for. No, you're right. I should have told you other parties were involved. I'm sorry. So, I wanted to give you a tip. I nodded. Good tip. She smiled. More of that, if you help me later. With what? Other things, odd jobs. There's 2 more of these devices, and I'd really like to find them. One's not good enough? No. One is great. One is very, very great. One is useful. But two can do extraordinary things. And all 3 of them, well, let's just say that's world-changing power. I thought about it. Well, you keep tipping like this, and you keep scratching my back like earlier, maybe, just maybe, we have a deal. She smiled. You were right about one thing. What's that? You are much better than masturbation. I looked at her, as were you. She smiled. Misty showed up right at that moment. And M about shit herself. Misty, good to see you. Misty hissed at her. I think you better go now. M nodded. I'll be seeing you, Marcus. Yeah, maybe not here. We'll arrange somewhere safer for you. I don't think Misty likes you. And at that, she left. Misty looked at me, eyes flaring, power flowing. She shook her head. What, Misty? Rewind. She looked at Misty with fear in her eyes. I waved away the spell that had blocked the device. Take it. She did. Okay, I'll see you later. Yeah, but not here. We'll find somewhere else. Misty doesn't seem to like you. At that, M left hastily. The door closed and I stared at Misty. So, what the fuck? The cat looked at me, eyes, power flowing, anger evident. What's the problem with you? She leaned over, put a gentle paw on me, and I looked at her. Images started to flood my head. All of them too fast for me to really fix it on, but one image froze in place. That of a dead, bloody kitty on the ground, dismembered, entrails out everywhere. It was Misty. And then the vision flashed again, and I stared at her. Who would fucking do that to you? She looked back after M. Her? She doesn't have the fucking power to do that. Misty looked at the table where the device had been, then looked at me, then looked at the door, shook her head. Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me she does that to you with the devices? Misty nodded, hissed, growled. Son of a bitch. The plot just got thicker. Nobody fucks with my kitty. Alright, that's where we're going to end it. I think we covered everything. Butt Scratcher, Ramen Noodles, Pink Pussy, Soul Scavenger, Pontiac Trans Am, Kwisatz Haderach, Bloody Kitty, Anal Glands, Red Wings, Deadpool's Ballsack, Death Reaper, and Masturbate. So I think we got that. I think we got everything there this time. We didn't miss a word like we did last week. So we had 12 words today. We got all of them in there. And this one definitely is going to have a secondary part and a final part. So I think this one was a fun story. All I had here was, I went way off beat here because originally I was thinking I was going to do an angry man who defies death. He has a military background, Marcus Jones, and then cat named Misty. So that's all I had written down. So I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen with the story, and then it just kind of took a path of its own. So it was kind of an interesting story. I like the mysterious of the cat. I think the cat is the thing that kind of just really kind of kept me going. Like, what is this fucking cat? You know, this cat's something else. And the fact that it has this secretion, this mystical secretion that it sprays, kind of like a skunk does, right? But each it has like a multitude of things it could do. You know, so this episode, it sprayed him, and as he inhaled it and everything else, it had a physiological effect that basically doubled his size and toughened his skin up, and obviously augmented his strength and some other pieces to it that was interesting. And I have no idea what else that it could do, but I think it's interesting. So I think this is definitely going to be something I'm going to carry through on a regular basis. Not quite sure yet what, but I thought it was fun. Could be tied to the Rainbow Kitten. Yeah, that could be a fun one. Some crossover stuff, because the Rainbow Kitten story was interesting, and that one is another dimensional piece. So yeah, these could all end up hooking in some very interesting, like, stoner, tripped out on acid kind of way. I don't know. But anyway, that's it for this one. Appreciate you guys. I'm recovering pretty good. I'm really super sore. It's hard to eat and everything else, but I'm sure as time goes by and I'm healing up, it'll get a little bit easier. So right now I've just been taking it kind of easy. I missed the show last night for Angry Jackalope. I just was so stoned and out of it that I actually slept through it. So apologies on that for anybody that was trying to watch that show last night. That's it for now. We'll be doing this again next week. Again, Harry's Situation is out. It's available. You can find that on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. That was the very first real-time story time that we actually turned into a novella as well as an audiobook. Those are both free. So if you go to realtimestorytime.com, you'll be able to find links to everything. If you're already listening to this on the podcast, go back a couple of episodes, probably 3 or 4 episodes back. You'll see Harry's Situation, the audiobook. And if you go even further back, then you'll be able to catch the episode that we did back in May, I believe. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will talk to you guys next week. And that is going to be it for now. So I will talk to you guys later.